同学们好.
老师好。
Thank you both. We actually had stereo there. It's wonderful to hear more than one voice. So welcome everybody. It is Monday, the 11th of April. We are close to the end of learning the first section of the Yangflubi Taiji Chuan traditional form. Next week, we will be learning the closing movement. Then there will be a special class that Nancy Lucero Laoxie is going to offer on the 13 postures. That won't be recorded. And then we'll have 2 review classes. So we'll be finishing early in May, and then we'll be starting the whole sequence again with the first section. So let us begin with our standing practice. And you, of course, can do it seated if you wish. We'll just do the parallel stance or the straight stance or pole stance. So sink down, knees bent, arms rounded in front of you. And let's do a few minutes here. So just take a few breaths. See if you can feel your breath moving your abdomen. Breathing in smoothly and slowly and gently through your nose. Your mouth is closed but not closed, in other words, gently closed. Teeth gently touching, tongue on the roof of your mouth. So let's start from the top with our posture. So feel the top of your head pushing up, front of your head is vertical. So as you push up, feel you're pushing and pushing until there's a magnet in your head that clicks onto a piece of metal in the ceiling. And then your whole body from the neck on down is just hanging down. So your head is up, everything else is hanging down. The second thing we look at is shoulders sinking. So feel your shoulder blades sinking down. Feel your elbows are dropping. Feel there are weights hanging down from your elbows. Palms, fingertips facing each other, thumbs relaxed, about a fist between your fingertips. Now, third thing we look at is sinking your chest to round your back slightly. Do that by pulling out at the elbows. So feel your elbows, pulling out your shoulders, and then pulling on your spine. That should round your back. And the rounding goes all the way around to your fingertips. So feel your fingertips pulling the palms, pulling the elbows. Now everything's connected. So perhaps as you did this rounding, your shoulders went up. So just check again, are your shoulders sinking and your elbows dropping? Is your head up? Now let's keep going down. Head is up, waist relaxed. So feel your hips dropping straight down. It's 2 minutes. So that the sacrum, the flat part at the back of your pelvis, is vertically down and your back is round and straightening. Whole back from top to bottom is opening up from the tip of your head down to the bottom of your pelvis, and your arms horizontally opening from left to right. And in the last 30 seconds, look at your breathing or attend to your breathing. See whether you have abdominal breathing and what the quality is. How easy is it for your breath to go into your lungs? Press into the lungs as you breathe in. That makes your belly sink. And adjust your posture when you practice on your own. Change those 4 things to see if that improves your breathing. And we'll stop there. So now I want to combine standing practice with the bow stance and the waist turning that we did last week. And so the first thing I invite you to do is perform a bow stance. So let's just check the footwork. Back foot to the corner. Front leg, the width is shoulder width. As far forward as you can go and come back easily. Shift the weight forward. That's the footwork. I want you to feel rooting. And so rooting has two parts, push and support. So when you push back with your front leg, I want you to feel it in your back leg. You're pushing into your back leg. And same time, you're pushing with your back leg into your front leg. So the two legs are pushing against each other. As you shift back now, so shift into a bow stance still, but now you've got 70% on the back leg, 30% on the front leg. Shift to the front, 60-40, 60 on the front. Back, and as you switch from back to front, I want you to feel that your front leg is pushing back into your back foot. As you go from front to back, feel that your back leg is pushing into your front foot, so that as you go back, you feel a pressure coming this way, and then it comes back a little bit, and it's almost like a spring settling. And we call this central settle down. So let us begin with the forward bow stance. Tilt your torso forward so it's in line with your back leg. Look down your side so that you can see if there's a more or less straight line from your shoulder to your hips to your ankle. Arms rounded. Now we're going to do a waist turn. So keep your hips and your undercarriage in the same place if you can, and just rotate to the outside and to the inside. That's one. Outside, inside. That's two. Just go as far as is comfortable. 3, 3, 4, 4. And come back to the starting position. Now shift your weight back. So now you've got 70% on the back leg. We're again going to go in this horizontal movement. So to the outside, 1, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside. And the last one, outside, inside. Go back to the front. And so these are the movements. So for example, when you're doing rollback, it's this movement of the waist when you're doing rollback. When we're doing parry, block, and punch into apparent closing up, again, you'll see our chest is moving side to side. Now we're going to do the vertical movement. So begin with the forward position. I want you to move your chest forwards and backwards, but forwards and backwards along the line between your feet. Because remember, that's where we have support. So your chest is going to go backwards and forwards. Keep it square. It's just going to go backwards and forwards. So let's begin. Try not to move your hips, just your chest. So forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Now shift your weight onto the back leg. And we're going to do the same thing. Forward and back. Stay in the back with your hips. Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. And so this movement, so for example, when we do press and push, when we do apparent closing up, pushing forwards, it's this movement. There is also movement in the waist. It's not just the legs and the arms. So now relax, come out of that and adopt bow stance on the other side, and we'll do it on the other side. So we're in a bow stance. First, let's just feel the push and support. So back, forward, back, forward. And as you stop in the front, feel it pushing back against the back leg. Back, forward. Okay, so we're in the front. So let's do the horizontal movement first. To the outside, inside. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. And back to the starting position. Now shift your weight back. So you've got 70% on the back leg. Check that your crotch is rounded, that your knees aren't collapsing in. And we'll do the horizontal movement again. So to the outside, 1, inside, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Go back to the front. Now we're going to do the forward back. And remember, as you move your chest forward and back, try and keep it square and move it along the line between your feet. So forward, back. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. And I should have stopped at 4. Shift back. The back position, crotch rounded, forward, 1, and back, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, and stop. Go back to the bow stance on the first side. Now we're going to combine this forward back movement of the waist with the movement in the legs. Because when we're doing press, let's say we've done press and we're doing push, we're moving the weight forward and the arms are going forward as well. And so this is a way for us to combine those two movements. So let me just show you what we're going to do. We're going to start in our forward stance and we're going to do 3 movements at the front, forward and back. And on the third one, we're going to shift everything back. Then we're going to do 1 and 2, and on 3, we're going to go forward again. So as you, on 3, both your waist is moving and your legs are moving. See how that goes. So let's begin. So forward, 1, back, 2, forward and back, 3, forward. And as you come back, shift your weight back as well. So now you're sitting in the back. So we're going to go forward, 1, back 1, 2, 2. Now shift everything. Again, 1, 2, and 3. Shift everything back. Start forward, 1 and back, 2 and back. Now legs, waist, go forward together. And change to the other side. Okay, so we'll start by going backwards, 1 and 2, and then on 3, everything goes together. Okay, so 1 and forwards, 2 and hips forward, 3, everything comes back. Now we'll start going forward without moving the hips. 1 and 2, and now everything together. 3. Start again. Start going with the front, just the hip movement backwards. 1, forwards, 2, forwards. Now use your legs. Everything comes back. Now from the back. 1, back, 2, back, and 3. Everything comes forward. And release. So this takes perhaps a little getting used to, but I want to introduce it, and we'll do some more similar movements next week, because this is how you begin to see how we coordinate the legs, the waist, and the arms as we do the form. So we'll start with our moving practice now. Before I do that, are there any questions? Yes, please, Robert.
Hey, I have a question, and that is when we are moving all the way forward and all the way back, is there any circular, like up and down movement during this as well?
Yes, there is. I didn't talk about it because that's something we haven't practiced. But since you ask, yes, the answer is yes. So actually, when we're just doing this practice, right, we can circle when we're doing forwards and back. Let's go back to this. Remember last week when we said we do side to side? but we can go in a circle, right? So to put a little circle on the edge when we're doing this vertical movement, we move, I think of moving my solar plexus, sort of the middle of my chest, in a circle. In the same way, we can try imagine moving in a circle. I'm going to use my hands to show what I'm trying to do with my waist. So I'm going up and forward and back, and I can go the other way too. So when we're doing press and push, for example, when we're here in press, the movement back is this way with the waist, and then from down to up when it goes forward. So with this movement, the waist movement actually is this way. And in fact, with parry, block, and punch into apparent closing up, again, here we're going down and up. But you should actually practice both. If you're practicing the circles, practice both the circle going this way, and going this way. The trick I find, and I haven't cracked the code yet, is to move your spine without moving your hips too much, because it's hard to isolate. Maybe for the dancers among us, it's easy because you've got well-trained bodies, but it's taking me some getting used to. Great question. Thank you, Robert. Does that answer your question?
Yes, yeah, that definitely helps.
Super. Thank you.
You can do it both ways.
Yes. And do practice it both ways when you're just doing the isolation, so your body gets used to both. Okay. So let us practice the form together. So I will start going in the same direction that you would be going, so facing the front or the 12 o'clock direction. Start with feet shoulder width apart, arms by the side. In prepare. Opening, arms rotate and lift, palms shoulders apart up to shoulder height, then press down, rotating at the shoulders, then the elbows, then the palms, pressing down, ending just in front of the hips. Grassbird's tail ward off left, shift the weight slightly to the left, with body turning, open the right toe, left arm goes forward a bit, right arm goes back a bit. Now the arms circle, left arm down, right arm up, step forward with the heel bow stance, lift with the left arm, pull down with the right, look to the side. Ward off right, shift weight slightly with body turning left toe to the corner. Turn the body slightly to the left, grab to the left with the left hand. Close the arms and step out with the heel, touch on the right leg, bow stance with, push up with the right, pull down with the left. Roll back, swing, rotate, turning the waist to the right corner. Then as you sit your weight back, the waist swings all the way to the left corner. Press, the arms and the chest close into each other. The left palm goes to the right forearm center. Now push out and up into press, push. Arms separate, chest square, palms parallel. Pull the palms back horizontally, sit in front of your chest. Now push up, then the waist, then the palms. Single whip, sit back the weight. Pull with the left arm, pivot on the right foot, 135 degrees with the right foot, arms to the left. Now arms come back, fingertips to fingertips. Make a hook out to the corner. Step out to the left as the left arm comes to 45 degrees. As the foot flattens, rotate the palm to the side and then strike out to the side. Raise hands, step forward, shift weight slightly, turn the left toe into the corner. Both arms open slightly, make a big circle in the horizontal direction, heel touch, empty stance, arms close, waist turns to the left. White crane spreads its wings. Both palms rotate, facing each other. Now pull down the palms, big circle with the right arm, smaller circle with the left. As the arms close, change your footwork on the right, heel to the corner. And open the arms, white crane spreads its wings. You're in empty stance, ball touch. Left brush knee. 1, rotate the palms. Now 2, big swing with the arms, looking to the back corner. As the arms get to the side, heel touch both arms with the left foot. Brush with the left arm, right arm to the shoulder, push forward the weight as you strike out with the right hand. Handstrums loot. Yield forward your weight, step in center line to sides with the right foot. Now big circle with the right arm back, lift with the left, heel touch, empty stance, left leg, lift with the left, right, tiger's mouth to left forearm center. Left brush knee, 1, rotate the right palm, big swing up, one arm down, the other arm to the back corner, step out into a bow stance. Right palm to the shoulder where the left palm brushes. Now right palm strikes out, left palm by the thigh. Left, so that's a left brush knee, right brush knee. Shift weight back slightly. Rotate the left arm into rollback position. One arm down circle, the other arm up circle. When the arms get to the back corner, heel touch in a bow with the right foot. Brush and push. Left brush knee, shift weight back slightly, lift the right arm halfway up. With the toe going to the right corner, make the ward off with your right arm. Swing one arm down, one arm up. Other way, they close to the back corner, step out with the left foot. Ball touch, brush, and push. Handstrom loop. Shift forward weight, step in center line with the right foot, pull back with the right, turn the left palm vertical. As you make an empty stance, heel touch, left arm up, right arm down. Left brush knee, right palm up, left starts lifting, big circle out to the corner, look to the corner, step out with the left heel when you're to the back, brush, right arm in front of the right shoulder, and push. Handstrom loop number 2. Shift weight forward, step in, handstrom loop, left brush knee. Step forward, parry, block, and punch. Shift weight forward, shift weight back slightly. Left toe turn to the corner, left arm into rollback position. Both arms circle down, make a fist with the right palm to the back corner. Now second parry with the right palm in front of you. Step out into a bow stance with the left heel as your left arm blocks out, and punch. Apparent closing up. With the waist turn, yield to the right, left arm comes to the side. Now left arm goes under right, right pulls back over the left as the left wards off up, both arms down to in front of your ribs, and push out. And release. So the first thing that I want to talk about actually is the arm circle. There are still a few things to fine tune, particularly with the arm coming in left brush knee. So let's look at let's say we're in right brush knee. So from right brush knee, 1 is the arms go into rollback position. That's good. 2, both arms circle down. 1 circles down, 1 circles up to here. Most of us have this. Good. What I want to focus on is the movement of this outside arm. It comes just straight into the shoulder first. So 3, it just comes in, and then it pushes out. So from this direction, let me go back a little bit, to here. So this back arm is just going to come into the shoulder, and then it's going to press out. What some of us are doing is the arm is sort of coming around to the outside. It's a very simple movement. The elbow bends to sit the palm in front of the shoulder, and then it presses out. So the arm starts at the side, elbow bends to in front of the shoulder, and then it presses out. So let's just do that together. So we'll start in right brush knee. Actually, I'll do it this way. Yep. So in right brush knee. So 1, open the right toe. 2, swing the arms out to the corner, heel touch, bow stance. Now think about this right arm. It's just going to come to the shoulder first as the left arm wipes the table, and then it's going to push straight out. Keep going, and now do a second one, do a left brush knee. So I'll do a left brush knee as well. So we're starting here. Circle to the side. It comes to the shoulder and presses out. So that's something to pay attention to with the brush knees. And it, of course, is the case on both sides. So try and make clear this movement to the shoulder and straight forward. The next thing I want to talk about, it's a little bit hard for me to see how the footwork is going with the parry, block, and punch. So let me just review the footwork. I will assume that most of us are good on the footwork. But if you will recall, it's a transition step. So we shift back our weight, and then we step center line to sides for the second step, and then the third step is wide to a bow again. So the middle step is center line to sides, then the third step is out to the side. What I can see that I want to talk about is the arm movements in parry, block, and punch. So first I want to talk about the right arm movement. So the right arm is the one that's essentially making this, infinity sign, right? And so the first thing that I want to underline is as it comes down, we make a fist, and it's in this position in front of our body. And in fact, when we're in this position, the flat of our knuckles is pointing to the back corner. Then it comes up and blocks out. So here the energy point is the center of the forearm. So what I'm seeing some of us do is this arm is coming down very low and is then going out. So this arm actually comes down to here and then comes back up. It's not down and up. It's more closing in front of solar plexus height and then comes back forward. Then it pulls to the side and punches out. That looked good. The thing that I want to underline, though, is the left arm in the closing position. So when we've done, so let me just do that. So we're doing parry, block, and punch. So to here. And we're going to finish like this, right? So the right arm is out sort of from the shoulder. It's not quite shoulder height, it's from the shoulder. The left arm is about the same height as the forearm. The left palm is at an angle like this, and it's about fist width away. So some of us actually have the arm, it looks like, and it could just be a camera angle thing, it looks like your palm is actually over your forearm. It's not, it's to the side here. Because remember what the application is it to push. So somebody strikes and we're just pushing it out of the way. So the closing position is like this. And if you look at it from the side, you can see that my fingertips are showing above my forearm. So let's just do those two things together. And then we'll get into the actual review for today, which is apparent closing up. So we're in left brush knee, shift back weight, roll back position. I'm still looking to the front. Now circle the right arm down, but don't circle it too low. So when you get this middle transition step, your right fist is about solar plexus height, the belly height. Then block out, pull back, block with the left arm. Now turn your body into the left arm as you punch and finish with your left arm more or less horizontal, palm towards the center of the right forearm. Okay, now let's talk about apparent closing up. Let's just review, before I do that, are there any questions about these movements? No. So apparent closing up. Let's just review apparent closing up. So we were in the end of parry, block, and punch. The first thing we do, one, is we yield forward with a waist turn. The left arm and then shuttles under the right as we sit back our weight. The left arm is warding off out. The right arm comes down, so it's about rib height. Then as the chest turns square, both hands sit in front of the chest and we push out. So the first thing to talk about is the weight shift. So that's actually the weight shifting that we practiced earlier today. So we're starting in a parry, block, and punch bow stance. So 60% on the front. We're going to shift our weight back so that it's only 30% on the front, 70% on the back. Check that your crotch is rounded. As we shift back, our chest will open to the right and our hips will open to the right. As we close our palms and sit them in front of our chest, we turn our chest square, hips turn in a little. Then starting push with the back leg, push up and out. The thing that I wanted to just underline, again, it's a little bit hard to see, but I wanted to emphasize which hands are directed where. So I'm starting in parry, block, and punch. I yield. So the first thing is when I yield forward, be careful that your left arm is just going to the side. It's not going behind you. I see some of us are actually pulling behind us. So some of us seem to be pulling this way. The left arm is just coming out almost in a straight line. So the forearm is in a straight line. Then it's going to go back a bit and under the right forearm. So the left arm comes back like this. The second thing with the hands is, so we're going to yield forward with a waist turn to the left, release the right palm. Now as I sit back, I'm going to pull back. In this position, you'll see I can see both my palms. Both my palms are sort of facing diagonally up. So both palms are sitting up like this. This left arm is in a ward off and this left arm is actually in a nice round shape too. So both palms, so you have the outside of your hands are to the outside. So we're here. Then as I sit my weight back from here, if you remember when we did rotation, both these palms are going to rotate. So we're going to go from this position, both palms are going to rotate to sit here. So we're going to start from here and both palms rotate. And when you're in this position, both palms are facing out. Somehow I think some of us have one palm out and one palm in, although again, I may be mistaken. The last thing I want to talk about is we've talked about the weight movement, we've talked about the arms. Now I want to talk about the body movement. So I'll show the arms, but really I'm talking about the waist turns. As we yield to the left, make sure that it's a waist turn. You're not turning your hips. You're just turning at the waist. So your chest is opening slightly to the left. As you sit back, your hips are opening to the right, but your chest is opening more to the right. So that when you're in this position, my chest is actually pointing to the corner here. When I bring my palms in front of my ribs, I'm turning my chest to square. So everything, my chest and my palms are now, my hips obviously can't be square, but they're turning in a little bit, but I'm ready now to push square forward here. So again, the waist turn, as I yield forward with a waist turn, chest goes slightly to the left, shuttle under, chest turns to the right. Now at the back, when I'm not moving my weight, but I'm turning my chest square. And then when my weight goes, my arms go along with my waist movement. Okay, let's do that together a couple of times just so that we get the repetition. So I'll start in this position. We're at the end of parry, block, and punch. Apparent closing up. Yield forward with the waist turn, shuttle the left arm out to the left first. Now 2, shuttle the left under the right, pull the right back. Now your weight is in the back. Turn the chest, palms sitting in front of your ribs. Now weight going forwards, hands push out. Again. With the waist turn, the left arm shuttles out, release the right fist. Waist turns to the right. Left arm shuttles on the right. You're sitting back. Nice big ward-off shape with your left arm. Waist turns to the left as the arms come in front. Chest square. You're still weight in the back. Push forward. Okay. Any questions? Okay. So the new movement, and this is the last big movement in the form, in this part of the form. But it's a lovely movement and it introduces a new technique that we will use in many other places in the form. It's called cross hands. And so let me demonstrate cross hands from a couple of directions, and then we'll break it down. So I finished doing push. 1 is I'm going to start shifting back my weight and turning my chest. 2, I'm going to deflect out to the right. 3, I'm going to shift my weight back, turn my arms over, bring my feet to square, cross my arms right in front of left, and then lift my arms to here. And this is cross hands. Let me do it in this direction. So we finished doing a push after apparent closing up. 1, going to start turning my waist. Shift the weight over to the corner. 3, bring the arms around, cross, and 4, lift. There are many ways to count these. I'm breaking it down as a 4 count. In the end, when we do the movement, as you know, as you may have heard me say, I'm sure you've heard many other people say too, we practice continuously and without interruption through the whole single form. And so you can also do it as a 2 count. So for example, you could just do 1, 2. But I'm going to do it as a 4 count to just give us a few more freeze frames to work on. So let us first talk about the footwork. So we're starting in a left bow stance. We're going to turn our left foot through 90 degrees. Because it's a 90-degree turn, we're going to shift our weight all the way back to the right. Pivot the left heel so that the left foot is now pointing straight to the front. My weight is still on the right leg. Shift my weight all the way onto the left. The left leg is now full, so I can pick up the right foot, put it down, and then equalize the weight. And then my knees will be bent. And I'm not going to straighten my knees at the end of this. We'll do that when we do the closing movement next week. So if we do it from, let's say we've done push here. If you want to practice with me, we've got 60% on the left leg. Shift the weight back all the way back onto the right. Pivot the left heel, the left foot turns through 90 degrees. Shift all the weight onto the left leg. Pick up the right, put it down shoulder width, and equalize. Okay. Now, let's start thinking about, we'll do the arms and then we'll do the waist. So we've done the push here. So 1 actually is a small movement, but it's the beginning of a movement. So with your hips beginning to turn, your waist beginning to turn, your arms turn. And so actually you remember we're saying, you know, the waist leads the limbs. And so the arm movement, as I'm at an angle here. As I start moving, I rotate my palms. As I start moving, I'm going to rotate my palms. So this waist movement is going to rotate both my palms inwards. One way to see that is when we start, we have our fingers vertical. As we start rotating, our hands tilt, and you might be able to see a triangle. My thumbs make a base of a triangle, and my fingers make the two sides. So actually, we go from this to this triangular shape. That's what we do in one. And that movement, actually, it starts with the legs, goes through the waist, and shows up in the hands. So as I start shifting my weight back, I'm rotating my palms. That's one. Two, I'm going to make a big rainbow shape with the arms, and that's as the left foot turns in. So that's two, and I'm going to end up with both arms out, elbows down, palms sitting, arms out to the side like this. So let's do 1 and 2 together. So we're at the end of Parry closing up, which is a push. 1, start rotating. So the palms make a triangle. 2, big rainbow shape to the corner. One of the things I want to underline with this arm, and it's really hard for you to see on a screen, it's much easier to see in person, is I'm making a rainbow, I'm making an arc with my arms. And in fact, normally we say, don't interrupt your sight line, but the arms, the arm is going up a little bit higher. It's not a horizontal movement. So it's not this, it's this. So paint the rainbow. So that's 1 and 2. So let's do 3. So let's start again at the beginning. So we're at the end of a Parry closing up. 1, start the rotation. Start rotating your palms. 2, paint the rainbow. Your left foot is to square, the right arm is pointing to the corner. Now you're going to turn the arms over and shift your weight when your right foot touches your arms across. The left arm is in front of the right arm. Again. So 1, start shifting the weight, rotate the arms. 2, rainbow shape, turn the left foot straight, right arm to the corner. 3, rotate the arms, drop, and cross the arms. Left arm is in front, the right arm is closer to your body. This arm movement is the key technique. So I want to spend a few minutes just reminding you about this shape. You will remember quite a few weeks ago now, we did this exercise where we started with the arm out the side and we looked at the elbow rotation, right? So drop, down, inside, up, out, down, inside. So this rotation, right? And you can do it on the other side, down, inside, up, out, down, inside, up, out. And it's very important to actually think about the elbow rotation. And again, the screen is not my friend because of depth perception. But after we've painted the rainbow, the arm is out here. I'm going to turn it over to this position. So you can see I go from the elbow down, the arm straightens, and then the elbow is down here. And so what I'm not doing, hard to show, I'm not flapping it down. So I don't go from here to just flapping it down. I'm actually going in the plane of my body. So I'm not just flapping it down. The arm straightens, and then the elbow is in the upper position. So you can do it with one arm or both arms, whichever is easiest for you, but I'll do it with both arms. So we're going to just do these two arms together. So out, they straighten, rotate. So now you're in the sort of a gorilla walk movement. So we'll come up, out. So we're here. Now do that rotation. and down, up and rotate. One of the ways I've heard this described is, imagine there's paint on your fingertips and you're painting space. So when you go here, you want to paint a circle with your fingertips at the edge, so that you're painting a circle right there. And so you can see as I'm doing this rotation, my arm isn't moving forwards and back. It's in the plane of my chest. Okay? So for those of you who know the second section, this should ring lots of bells, right? Cloud hands. This is the same movement we do in cloud hands. There's many other things happening that we have to think about. We have the other arm that we have to think about. But here we can just focus on this rotation because both arms are doing the same thing at the same time. So let's do 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do 4. In terms of the freeze frames that I'm using today. So we're at the end of apparent closing up. We're in a push. 1, start shifting the weight back, rotate the arms. 2, to the corner, left toe comes to square. As you shift your weight onto the left leg, arms rotate, then both arms drop, and as your feet come parallel, they cross. Left arm in front of right. Now, to finish, just rotate your arms, and they come up in front of you. And so the first time I saw this, it was magic, because I'm starting with my left arm in front on the outside. I rotate, and now my left arm's on the inside. It's magic. Anyway, small things amuse small minds. But the thing that I want to emphasize here with the closing shape is there are 2 names for this movement. It's called cross hands for the obvious reasons, but it's also called double ward-off. This is a ward-off arm, and this is a ward-off arm. They are both ward-off arms. They cross more or less at forearm center. So I don't want you to cross at the wrists. It's not at the wrists, it's at the forearms. So when the arms come up, so when we close at the bottom, you'll see the left arm, your left arm is in front. When the arms lift, the left arm is on the inside. So that is the transition that we're doing. The last thing, and this is a good place to show it, it's very easy for us to end up in this kind of posture with our arms sort of comfortably relaxed in front of our chest. I want you to feel this extension. So when we're doing our standing practice and feel as if our arms are the outside of a balloon, cross them and feel that extension when you're in cross hands. Feel as if there's somebody pulling at your forearms, pulling it away from the center of your chest. I want you to be nice and open and extended. Okay. So let me ask Susan to join us, and I just want to show you the application meaning of this, and then we can practice the repetitions. Okay, so this movement that we're doing is actually a deflect or a ward-off shape. So let's say I've done something here, and I have an opponent coming from the side. She's going to punch straight at me. I'm actually going to deflect out of the way. And so in general, when we do, actually we find this everywhere in the form, when you're absorbing an opponent's energy, you use a curve, you use a circle. When you're delivering energy, you use a straight line because you want to deliver as much energy as possible. So she's coming in a straight line, I'm using a circle. Then actually I can catch this arm, and then I can do many things. So actually, Susan, let's just do it from this angle. So Susan comes in, I deflect. Now I've got her arm here. Now I can do many things. One of the things I can do, actually maybe better to do it from this side. People can see. Okay, Susan's going to come in and I'm going to deflect. So from here, the easiest thing to do actually is just to kick her knee. Another thing I can do is I can deflect out of the way here. She strikes with the other arm, I deflect here. Or if I'm in this position and she punches down, I deflect here. Remember, this is white crane. Another thing that we can do, and if I want to take control, it's kind of this way, I'm here, I can actually do ward off because I'm actually from this position, sorry, roll back, yes. So come in, block, roll back. So that's the way to think about this movement. So you're connecting with somebody when you're out, you're coming in here, and from here you can do any of a number of different things. The other thing I want to mention for this position, we see it elsewhere in the form too. If Susan's just going to punch, I can just block out. So this is a way of just blocking out. If she's striking down with a sword or a stick or something, I can just block out again with both arms. And then I can use either arm depending on what else is happening. Okay. Thank you, Susan. Okay. So let's practice this together. I will start in the same direction as you, and then I'll keep changing my position, but do whatever is convenient for you. So we've done the end of apparent closing up. So we're in push. Left bow stance, we're in push. 1, start shifting back your weight, rotate the hips, palms start rotating, make that triangle. 2, big circle to the corner, left foot to square. 3, rotate, elbows up. Step in. 4, lift. And again. So we're in push. 1, start shifting your weight, rotate the arms. 2, big deflect to the corner, left foot to straight. 3, rotate the arms, arms drop when they cross, feet parallel. 4, lift. We're in push. Shift back weight, start rotating both arms in. 2, big deflect to the side. 3, rotate the arms, elbows up, both drop, feet parallel, arms crossed. 4, lift. Again, we're at the end of push. 1, start shifting back weight, rotate the arms. 2, with body turning to the corner, left foot to square, right arm to the corner. Your elbow is now down. 3, turn the arms over and drop, cross, right arm on the inside, lift, right arm on the outside. Again, we're in push. 1, start shifting the weight back with a turn of the hips, turns the waist, turns the arms. 2, paint the rainbow to the corner. 3, turn over the arms, drop the arms, bring the right foot in, feet parallel, arms crossed. Lift is number 4. Again. 1, shift weight back, rotate the palms. 2, paint the rainbow to the corner, left foot to square. 3, turn the arms over, drop both arms. When the feet touch, they more or less cross, and lift. 1 more. We've done push and left bow stance. 1, start rotating those arms. Shift the weight over, all your weight on the right leg. Turn the arms over, bring the right leg in. Straight stance, feet parallel, arms crossed at the bottom. lift arms up. Now just hold that posture. I want you to check your posture. Do you have a nice ward-off shape with both your arms? Are you crossed at the forearms? Certainly not at the wrists. Are both your legs bent? Check your feet, feet parallel, about shoulder width apart. Head up, shoulders down, elbows down. Relax your waist. And we're not going to spend 10 minutes there doing standing practice. Okay, so are there any questions? Very good. So let's just do, we'll take another minute and let's just combine this with apparent closing up. Sorry, Robert, did you have a question?
No, I just checking the battery.
Okay, okay, good. So we're going to do from the end of parry, block, and punch, we're going to do apparent closing up and cross hands. So we're in a left bow stance, punching out with the right, left arm is in front of our chest horizontally. This is at the end of parry, block, and punch. Apparent closing up, yield forward with the waist turn, shuttle the left arm to the left, left under right. Now pull the right back as the left wards off out. Sit the palms in front of the chest as the chest turns to square. Push with the legs, the waist, and the palms. Apparent closing up. Start shifting weight back. Rotate the palms in. Big circle. Strike out to the corner as the left foot comes to square. Rotate both arms. Drop the arms. When the arms cross, your right foot touches feet parallel and lift with the right arm on the outside. Nice absorbed chest, rounded back. One more. Parry, block, and punch. Left bow stance, right arm striking out, left arm in front of the body. Apparent closing up, yield forward, left arm shuttles to the left, left shuttles under the right, right pulls over the left forearm, left arm wards off out. Now with the chest turned to the front, both palms in front of your ribs, push out. Apparent closing up, start shifting the weight back, arms start rotating. Big circle to the corner as the left foot comes to square. Turn the arms over. As the arms drop, start closing your step as the arms cross at the bottom. Both feet are down and lift up. And stop. We'll stop there. 同学们，再见。
老师再见。